So hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, the DevOps Rite. And in today's video, we are going to learn what is Docker, why do we need Docker. So let's get started. So first of all, what is Docker? You can see this is a Docker's icon. What is Docker? So Docker is basically a containerization tool that helps to package your application with all of its dependencies into a single container, and that container can be deployed and can work on any machine. So this is Docker. And okay, Docker we use because Docker ensures that same environment everywhere, because one container can run on every machine, and Docker help us faster isolated deployments, and there is no dependency conflicts when using Docker. And Docker is also very lightweight. And another thing is Docker Hub. So basically Docker Hub is a like platform where we can store our images. We can create images, we can store them on Docker Hub. So let's understand Docker engine. So Docker engine, first you need to install Docker engine. You can type Docker desktop install. I am on Windows, so I can simply type Windows. You can see this is Docker's official website, and from here you can download Docker for Windows. I already have it. I already have Docker desktop installed. Make sure when you download and install this Docker desktop, there will be an option in the bottom right of the installation window. There will be a check mark and written add to path. Make sure you check mark that add to path, so that Docker will be automatically added in your environment variables. And Docker engine is basically inside the Docker desktop. That is the runtime installed in our machine. This Docker desktop will be responsible for running the Docker containers. Also, I think I have prepared for you inside my drive. Yeah, this is the PDF I have created for you. We will be following this PDF. There is also a term called Docker images. Images are blueprints of containers, means some read-only template. You can see this is the PDF. Let's start. So what happens in the traditional deployments? Suppose I am developing some application and my application is working on my machine. But what will happen if I like copy or push that backend code into some another machine like Linux or Mac? And in traditional time, that code crashes due to some dependencies, due to machine difference, due to machine's kernel difference. So that was the problem faced. So to solve this problem, Docker was introduced. What Docker can help? Docker is basically creates a container. It's create a container, then put the application code into that container. That container also have dependencies and all of the things which is required by the code, and that container can be moved to any machine. That container will work on any machine. So that is the problem Docker solve. So let's move to the next topic. Docker Hub, I have already told you. Docker Engine, basically Docker Desktop, already have it. And there is another one question, like sometimes, let me show you. If I run Docker Desktop, the another question is that we say that Docker is very lightweight thing. We say it, but on Windows we can see that Docker is eating up to 8 GB or 9 GB of RAM. And on the another hand, we say that Docker is very lightweight. So I am going to give the answer of this question. First, let me show you the resource usage of Docker engine. So Docker is starting right now. Okay, look at this. My Docker engine is running. And let me show you my taskbar. You can see CPU usage 100%. In the 100%, 50% is using my recorder. Okay, let's see the RAM usage. 95% memory is, and in this Docker desktop is using 149 MB. And this is the another thing which is using 2.8 GB of RAM around, causing my total memory usage by 95%. So what is the reason behind this? The reason is that actually Docker was built for Linux systems. Give me a minute. Okay, it will automatically set to resource saver. Let me minimize. Docker was built for Linux system. So what happens on Linux? Docker engine when starts, Docker engine uses Linux own kernel, means the kernel inside the Linux machine, built-in kernel. Docker uses that kernel. That's why Docker is very lightweight on Linux, not on Windows. On this Windows, what is happening, like there is another virtual machine running. Docker desktop is running, that's it, but there is another virtual machine. The whole virtual machine is running, you can see. This is WSL, which is Windows Subsystem for Linux. This virtual machine is also running. This is causing Docker very heavy, because without this Docker will not run. So this virtual machine is causing so much memory usage. That's why Docker is a little bit heavier on Windows and very lightweight on Linux, because Docker uses Linux inbuilt resources. Okay, let me stop this for now. I'm exiting Docker desktop. Even my fan, CPU fan is running very fast, spinning very high RPM. Okay, Docker turn off. Okay, let's move to here are some commands. Don't worry, we will gain some hands-on on Docker. and this is the Docker file. So what is the Docker file basically? Docker file help us to create an image. This Docker file help us to create an image, means there are some commands that are written in Dockerfile, like from where we want to copy the code, in which directory we want to copy the code, with some environment variables, some ports that are exposed, and some CMD commands that are used to run that code. Don't worry, we will gain some hands-on on it. And data persistence and volumes. By default, you can see data inside a container is ephemeral. Means when container is removed, then data will be lost. So sometimes we need to bind external volumes with our container so that if our container is stopped or removed, our data persists. So let's move for next. This is container communication networking in Docker. That will be like a little bit higher level. So I'm gonna skipping it. Yeah, Docker Swarm. Swarm basically an orchestrating container orchestration tool like Kubernetes that can help manage many Docker containers running at the same time. And Swarm is good, but these days Kubernetes is in demand. Kubernetes have more advanced features than Docker Swarm, and some of the Kubernetes features are like auto healing, auto replicating, auto scaling, load balancers. These type of features Kubernetes have. That's why Kubernetes is more popular these days. Okay, now this will be a little bit higher level. We will be skipping it and we will now move to gain some hands-on on Docker, and also I will explain commands as well. What is the purpose of these commands? Okay. Okay, now we are going to gain some hands-on on Docker. So first of all, you need to start your Docker desktop. Sorry. I'm minimizing my browser. Docker desktop will take time. My CPU fan is spinning very fast. That is obvious. That's why Docker is heavy on Windows. Docker is heavy on Windows. And I told you the reason why it is heavy and why it is lightweight on Linux. Okay, our engine is starting. Let's wait. Okay, make sure when you install Docker Desktop, you check the option Add to Path in your installation window. We need to add Docker in environment variable as well. If you check that option, Docker will automatically add itself in environment variables. This is environment variables looks, and here you need to go under system variables path, then edit, and here you need to click on new and then add. You can see Docker is already added for me. I'm gonna cancel this. Make sure Docker engine is running. And what you need to do, open your PowerShell, and after installation you need to check. So make sure you check with this command, docker test as version. You can see Docker version 28.1.1, which is not the latest one. I need to update 4.53, but I will do it later. And this is some WSL integration. I'll do it later. Okay, my Docker is installed. Okay, so what to do now? Let me open some VS Code. I'm creating a new folder, Docker tutorial. I'm opening it with VS Code. I think my laptop is going to fly. It's going to take off. Fan speed is very fast. Let's create some index. This is normally I'm just creating. Leave it for now. I'm just opening my terminal in VS Code. And in VS Code, why it is taking too long? No. It's okay. Activating extensions. System is slow. Yeah, opened. So let's check again. Docker version. So it should show the version. It is showing. So first of all, I am running the command docker pull hello world. So it is using a tag latest, means it is going to pull the latest image of hello world, and from where it is pulling the image, this is from Docker Hub. This is Docker Hub. Make sure you have logged in your Docker desktop. I have logged in, you can see. So you can log in Docker desktop and in Docker Hub as well from the same account. And in the Docker Hub there are a lot of images, and from Docker Hub it just pulled an image called hello world. So docker pull command, docker pull and then image name. Okay, after pulling the image we need to run that image. So docker run and your image name. So basically that image will be dropped in a container and the container will be running. You can see the container successfully ran and showing us hello from Docker. There is another command to check how many containers are running. So you can see docker ps. Docker ps shows how many containers are running. So that container is executed, that's why the container is exited. So okay, and docker ps shows the current running containers. Docker ps Docker images shows how many images I already have in my system. So I have these images. These are around 712 MB. This is my assignment. This is database. This is Hello World, Nginx, my app. So these are the images. Let me check how many containers I have in previous. Look at this. These are the containers I previously have. Dummy branch API, Postgres, lot of containers. So let me run this dummy branch app API. Okay, leave it. Docker images. I'm going to run this my app. Docker run my app. So first of all, what is this? Full access denied from my app. Look like it doesn't exist or require Docker login. So let's run Docker login. This is my username. Login succeed. In your case, maybe it will open browser and ask you to authorize. After that, Docker images, Docker run my app. If it exists, no, it doesn't exist, so leave it. Let me check previous containers. I have dummy branch app API. So let me copy this. Also, I can copy this container ID. Docker run. Paste the name of container. This was the previous container running on my machine. So you can see this is running on this 8000 port. And let me show you it in running state. You can simply check Docker PS. You can see one container is running, dummy branch app API. So Docker, I'm going to stop that container, Docker stop, and then name of the container, or you can use the container ID. Sorry, no such container. Okay, I need to pass the ID. Docker stop. Okay, now the container is stopped. You can see Docker PS. You can check. Now it is showing nothing. Means the container is stopped. You can see shutting down master. Container is also stopped. So Docker run can start container. Docker PS list all the containers in the running state. Docker PS-A shows previous all containers. And next we need to check. We have Docker login, and I think that's enough for the video. In the next video, I will be showing how to create an image, how to containerize an application, how to deploy that application. So if you like the video, then please subscribe, please comment. That's it. And also you can go to my website as well. You can simply type the DevOps Rite. You can find a lot of meaningful content there. Where is my website? You can see devopsrite.vercel.app. Let me exit the Docker desktop. It is eating a lot of RAM. Let me also exit VS Code. And this is my website. Here you can find some Terraform related questions, commands, some famous tutorials that solves Xiaomi's .lsa and .lsav files, and you can give your feedback using this form. These are some handwritten notes. These are some tools. I was trying to decrypt. I was trying to not decrypt, to develop a global decryptor that can decrypt every file. And you can also visit my YouTube channel. I'm continuously posting resources to learn, to grow. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, GitHub, and on Twitter as well. And this is my YouTube channel. You can explore how to set up WireGuard. That's it. That's for the video. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.